Hello, and welcome to part 11 of Vampire Jenny. Here we got, this one's going to be relatively short, and because there are a lot of short sections, but they are very dialogue heavy. And this one in particular, Jenny gets to summarize the entire series in the first scene. So, without further ado or my rambling, let's just get into this one. So in summary, it all started with Will's disappearance into another realm, which left the door open for a bunch of other monsters. Victor Creel's kid was psychic and killed his family before being taken to Hawkins' lab, which was a front for child experimentation. He was sent to an alternate dimension by a benevolent psychic child named Eleven, but we all call her Elle or Jane. He created a monster that possessed both Will and Billy Hargrove, among others, at different times. I got involved with all of this after my neighbor decided to keep the larval stage of a Demogorgon as a pet. The mall fire was also a front. There was a Russian base under the mall where I spent most of the 4th of July last year. The people who died in the mall fire were all possessed by the Mind Flayer before being melted into a 30-foot tall amalgamated flesh spider thing, and Billy sacrificed himself out of spite to stop it. Hopper was presumed dead because he got kidnapped by Russians. The evil psychic was also the one who killed Chrissy, Fred, and Patrick, and did it in order to open the giant rifts. We, Eddie, Dustin, Nancy, Rob, and Steve and I, were in the Upside Down while you were damn near killing Max by crushing her Walkman. Thanks for that, by the way. Eddie, Dustin, and I were supposed to be distractions, but something went wrong and I ended up getting mauled by extra-dimensional bats. I died there. Max died topside before Eleven revived her with her psychic powers, making the rifts open, and then the evil psychic revived me 9 days later, so I crawl out of the alternate dimension at 2 p.m. on a Thursday. He made me a vampire and put me in charge of his armies, but I'm able to fend off his control with the power of music and optimism. That's the story as I know it, at least, and it is the very abridged compared to what actually happened. Jenny concluded. She had already explained some parts in depth, but it was getting late and she didn't like Jason's company all that much. Why did he target Chrissy? Jason asked, his voice not entirely one tone or another. He was mostly confounded by the fact that a bunch of children had been dealing with all of this and been unable to tell anyone. In order to get to you, you have to want it on some level. Chrissy didn't want to burden you or anyone else with her issues, and that ended up killing her. Trauma and guilt are the main factors he looks for. If you're traumatized but not guilty, there's not much he's able to do. The best way to avoid getting targeted is to make your peace with God. Or the void, if you've been doing this long enough to no longer believe in God. Awful things are going to happen when you're dealing with the Upside Down. Your options are accept it, or blame yourself and die. I will now give you the choice of going home, or you could sleep in my parents' room while you grapple with the implications of all of this. Please note, I'm doing this purely out of the kindness of my heart, and I do not like you, but I would be willing to tolerate you for the purposes of causing suffering to the limp raisin that killed your girlfriend. Jenny explained crassly. So the team was right about you then? You did hang out with the freaks willingly? Jason asked, ignoring Jenny's offer. Let me put it this way. The Bible never said woman shall not lay with a woman. I fully plan on running away with a close female friend and never marrying. If you have a problem with it, Altman hasn't eaten since this morning, and the only thing holding him back is me. Go ahead. Don't be as wishy-washy as the morals of a pragmatist, Jenny stated. Honestly, I think it'd be best if I went home, Jason admitted awkwardly. Thank the stars. All right, get in the car. Jenny let out a sigh of relief, leaving dents from her fingers in the metal fork she had been using to eat mac and cheese. Jason stared in mundane terror at the sheer strength Jenny possessed now. He had a feeling that she could throw him across the room and leave a dent in the wall if he said the wrong thing. He entered the car cautiously and decided not to ask how she knew where he lived. He still barely believed all of this, and had been happening right under his nose. We'll have a meeting tomorrow morning about you apologizing and catching you up all the way. We will talk shit about you if you show up late. Erica Sinclair has the most creative insult repertoire I've ever heard, and she's always expanding it. Arrive at 7 a.m. or earlier. Jenny informed him flatly, carefully managing her grip on the wheel so she didn't crush it by accident. She dropped Jason off inside. Now to put together a plan of attack. She wouldn't let her friends down again. Alright, this is probably the shortest one I've done in this series so far. But, we're doing the normal sign-offs, so, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever time it is for you, have a good time. Peace.